I haven't really got time to type anything at the moment, right in the middle of something. This is what God says about unity. Okay? There's only two spirits we can live in. One is the spirit of the living God, and the other is the spirit of the flesh, the devil, unbelief, all that. There's only two. The devil's entire platform is Genesis 3. That is the basis on which he has legal tenure to the earth. And that's what Jesus came to bust. And he did bust it. But as long as we live believing that we are independent gods, according to the Genesis 3 lie, and that you have and I have life independent for 1 second, and swanning along in the grease of that fat and that evil belief, when in fact we are just mudpots, and we, for any second of our lives, need empowering by a spirit power, either one or other deity, even the lying deity who's created the false platform of Genesis 3 and the knowledge of the tree and good, living by the knowledge of the tree of good and evil, as an independent God choosing, but there is no such condition. Or we're living now from the source of all joy, from the source of all love, from the source of immortality, from hope, from radiance, from God of glory, and all the other things that God is. There's only two spirits we can live by. That's why when we gather in the name of Jesus, to the extent that we gather in the name, the character, the being of Jesus together, then unity comes, his presence comes. He comes as Lord into the meeting. He presences himself among us, and instantly there's unity in the Spirit. If we maintain that unity, Paul says, we attain to the unity of the faith. Actually included in that, doctrines fall into place. How do I know that? Read John chapter 7:17. If a man's will is to do the will of the Father, he shall know whether this teaching be of God. We have downloads immediately about doctrine. The real problem of separation and conflict and 40,000 denominations is not doctrine. It is the decision that I don't really want to leave Genesis 3. I don't really want God's will. Not if it conflicts with my TV watching or my purpose in life that I want to do, the fishing trip that I want to do, the car that I want, the family that I want, the bird that I want to go out with. If it conflicts with that, no, I do not want your will, God. And so we come up with loads of doctrines and covering things and explanations and fafferys that seem to us to be logical in our darkened minds. But any mature man of God, woman of God, can see straight through the person and knows they don't really want the Lord. So, people who are mature in God can hardly get into any of those denominations because the denominations find them very distasteful, because they're pinning them against the wall and saying it's either God or it's the devil. What do you want in your life? There is no middle ground. The devil invented that idea that there's a middle ground, so he could come in the back door and work us like a hand puppet up our bum. That's the basis of his platform in the earth, and that's why there's 40,000 denominations. Different shades of believing that all conflict with one another, but they basically have at their root, I don't want you, God. So that's why unity is actually quite easy. But do we want it?